Well, hello, it's time for another session of Joy News Interactive. I am IB. So this show is live on DSTV on channel 421 and GoTV channel 144. Well, you can join in the conversation on social media as Joy News on TV. So the conversation has been raging for some time now. Mostly our entertainers say that we do not support our own. And they always compare us to Nigeria. And Nigerians say they support their act whether or not the song is nice. Well, Nigerian superstar musician Davido has been talking about this particular issue on Trevor Noah's show. Watch this.
I want to first of all give a shout out to all the Nigerians in the diaspora. When I say that, I mean like the Africans that are not in Nigeria, the ones that in America, the ones that in Europe, the ones that in London.
I bumped into Nigerians in Russia.
Anybody in the world, I knocked this table. I'm probably the person that knocked this table. Everybody in the world has a Nigerian friend.
Definitely.
Whichever way it is. So I think even in Atlanta, like with my music, personally, it kind of started from like Atlanta, New York. It started from like Nigerians even being in the club and telling the DJs like, yo, I want to spend $50,000 today, but play Davido's music when my bottles are coming out.
Wow.
Like, that's an example.
Wow. Yeah, but I'm saying it was a love. It was a deep love for the music.
Yeah, just from that. And then it got to, yo, we in a club. A female goes to the DJ, yo, play this song. So from people in the diaspora doing that for us.
Right.
So that was Davido and Trevor Noah. Well, let's talk to some industry players for their thoughts on this particular issue. I've been joined on the phone by Grandpapa, who is the one who gave birth to Hiplife, Reggie Stone, and we'll be having another person who has also been the backbone for the American trend. Well, Grandpa, good morning and welcome to Joy News.
Good morning.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you've been following this conversation, but let me backdate a little bit. When you were giving birth to Hiplife, when Hiplife came in session, I don't know, how was the love for this particular journey and the support like?
It was great. It was received very, very well.
Okay.
And, I mean, it's evident because you saw how young Ghanaians became so activated. I mean, in the history of Ghanaian music, this is probably the only one that was well documented. It was a fresh vibration, very exciting. It created amazing employment.
Okay.
Today, if you look back, almost all that happened in that little span of time had much to do with Hiplife.
Okay.
But now what Ghanaians usually have a great oversight on is that Hiplife did not just excite Ghana. It excited young Africans all over Africa. Because we were on the forefront.
So it means the love was huge.
It was huge. It excited the whole of Africa.
Okay.
When Hiplife jumped off, with the exception of Positive Black Soul from Senegal, nobody was doing what we was doing. Expressing ourselves in our own languages. I mean, it was just amazing. So Two-Face always says to me, he said, we saw you on TV. And you was rapping in your language. And it was like, wow, we don't even have to do it in English. You see, before that, everything was us emulating our brothers and sisters from up top. So people were doing dancehall from Jamaica. People were doing American rap. Hiplife is what instilled that pride in the tribe.
Let's take a look at this. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you. Now, you have seen back then how the love was huge when Hiplife was coming up. You have seen it all through till now. Do you still see the same love amongst the artists? I mean...
Now, today, what you mean, the people or the artists?
The artists themselves first. Let's look at the artists.
In our time, remember, I was the captain of the ship.
Okay.
So people pretty much followed my lead. And so whatever vibration that I was putting out there is what the younger ones would emulate.
Okay.
So Reggie was the cool dude. He was open-hearted, accessible. He was funky. He knew his American side. He definitely knew his Ghanaian side. He telling you he is Ghanaian, loud and clear by language and everything. And so they took right after me. When I would wear all white, all of the artists would wear all white. When I wore camouflage, they was with it. So I was that leader there. So some of my ideology infected the young soldiers at the time. So that togetherness,
Okay.
So if I was in Kumasi, as soon as I got off the plane, Lord Kenya's picking me up.
Okay.
When I needed money, or Brock was sending me an envelope.
Okay.
TikTok is coming by the house. We know we was all as one crew. Also, you got to remember, people always seem to forget this. I was way older than these cats.
Are you seeing that? Are you seeing that kind of love, that kind of unity amongst the musicians today?
Today, it's kind of murky because people, you see, when people start to make money and the egos kick in, you know, you ever heard the saying, more money, more problems?
Yeah, more money, more problems.
That's it. After a month, what I do? A month for I can system up them kakra.
Okay.
Social media, so that them. What's the matter? I mean, back in that day, if I needed to make that call, you understand me? I would have to reach out. Today, you know, it's got a little murky now.
Okay.
And so, are you there?
Grandpa, yeah. Hold on for a while. Don't get off. I have DJ Portfolio, who has also been the backbone for the Jamaican Trends, also on the line. Portfolio, how are you doing? Hello, DJ Portfolio. Okay, well, let's get back to Grandpa. Yeah. Well, we'll get back to Portfolio. Grandpa. Yeah. Do you, there has been an assertion and an opinion. Well, Rocky Downey said it that it is our music not going beyond our country, beyond our barriers, is because there's no love, there's no unity. And if we should unify ourselves, we can push the music way beyond where it is now. Do you see?
I mean, that's like preaching to the choir. That's like the truth.
Okay.
And I was listening to Davido sitting on Trevor's show.
Okay.
And he was speaking exactly what I've been spoke 10 years back. The only difference is I sowed the seed. You know, Sankabumno. Ghana, I don't know where we went wrong. I mean, from Dr. Kwame Nkrumah right down to myself. You know, it's today everything that we enjoy was created or put down by Dr. Nkrumah. But you can see the animosity we have towards the man before and today we're giving him his reverence. 30 years after the fact of creating jobs, naming it, Ghanaians turn around and say, oh, he did not create the play. How embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. What's my thing? Now, that narrative I have to fight, but you see where we're going? So when I said the words G-hate, I'm not just making Ghana look bad because we do have to address our internal problems. But for you to even call me to address this issue tells you that that's a problem. When Sarkodie goes on radio in Nigeria and the guy says, the Nigerian guy says to him, you guys don't seem to be together. Why y'all hating on each other? And
Grandpa,
then he comes...
well, I don't mean to cut you, but yes, we've seen the problem. What can be done to salvage the situation? What can we do to have a formidable unity?
So the solution.
Yes.
The solution is right there in the problem. We need to be more patriotic. It's quite simple. You need to be just about Ghana. Almost selfishly. Because now you gotta look after your house, brother. Okay. Your house. Play more your music. How you think Nigerians got there? They put a law in place that you had to play a certain percentage of their music. And
you believe that when we go on this trend, our music will break down?
I don't believe, I know.
You know?
It's not that I believe, I know.
Okay.
It's Takashi time. Because you got the goods. You have the talent. Black Sharif, tell we have all we need. But now we got to look after home. I mean, it's a hot mess, brother.
Okay. Well, Gramps, hold on. I think I have DJ Portfolio on Zoom. So let's get on Zoom. DJ Portfolio, if you can hear me, please unmute your microphone so that when you talk back, I can also hear you. Well, if you just joined us, this is Joy News Interactive, and we are talking about whether it is true that we having a unified front as musicians, if they have that unity, they build that bond, is going to help us break boundaries with our music. Well, I've been joined on the line by DJ Portfolio, who has been a formidable front and also a backbone for the American vibe. Portfolio, how are you doing?
I'm amazing, sir. And you?
I am great. So I don't know what you saw among the
MC Portfolio.
MC Portfolio. Okay. Well, thank you for that correction. I don't know what you saw amongst the Americans that you have become such a backbone for them.
Right, Mr. IB, thank you for this opportunity. I think that quality sales, it's not as if we've not seen the kind of this vibe ever to have surfaced in the soils of our industry. But this one came with a special kind of decoration that I felt that, yes. So all this while, I mean, our people in the city were crying for support. But the fact is, what was the material? Was the material strong enough to compete? And yes, for the first time, we had that material that we felt that if we rallied behind it, was going to really project us. So, I mean, for the first time, we had a group of guys who consciously decided to give us the material that they think worth competing, and then we had to rally behind it.
So, Portfolio, if I get you right, it is not definitely just building the unity and having that, that togetherness. It is also the material. If the material is good, is that what you're saying?
Yes, the unity for the unity aspect, it has always been there. I mean, we in Kumasi, the media made conscious effort over the time to create a playlist section on every radio station. Some dubbed it. We had radio stations who were pushing an agenda like 30 minutes in Kumasi in 30 minutes. We created a conscious agenda to project Kumasi.
Okay.
But then the penetration problem, we got to realize that it was the material. Okay. Yes, the talent was here, but our people perhaps need to study the trends that could compete favorably. And this was the time that we felt that, fine, I will attribute the whole ignition to three things. One, the blessing of COVID. That one I can never deny its impact. Like I said, that if we have anything to brag about America, to me, if COVID was not a pandemic, I wish nature had made it stay with us forever, because it is one of the pivotal phenomena that contributed to this. Because now people were indoors, they had the right to choose on their own what they wanted to consume as against what the media fed them.
Okay.
So that is how come the COVID became some form of blessing in disguise. When though people were crying about being a pandemic, we enjoyed it from the creative art point of view, because people were indoors, they were bored, and this time around, they had the streaming capability. They served through the internet to choose which material they felt they wanted to consume. Two, and then the two, at least this time around, I think the advent of social media and its impact has broken the gatekeeper chain system. This time around, you don't need, as it were, in our industry, we have something, I don't know whether it has been authorized or legitimized, called the gatekeeper system, where you had to pass through certain kind of people to have your breakthrough in the industry. This time around, the advent of the TikToks and everything came to break that chain of the gatekeeper system, and so it also impacted seriously on the breakthrough of the American movement.
And the third one will be
there's conscious agenda by Kumasi media to make sure we also have a penetration. No, I mean, apart from the fact that Accra is the capital, has a support system, we had to consciously make sure we're rubbing it on the faces of, the industry or the people, so that it has that mileage that it has now. So yes.
Portfolio, hold on. Don't go off Zoom. Hold on. Let's get on to the phone lines with Grandpapa. Grandpapa, are you there?
Right.
Hello, Grandpapa.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Radio Action. Okay, so I was just talking to MC Portfolio, who has been a backbone for the American. Well, he is making an assertion that it is not just the unity, but if you unify the front and there's no material to push, you can't break through. Do we have the material to be able to have a unified front for it?
Yeah, I mean, what he said, it just made so much sense. But you see, unification is wisdom. And like he said, they did have a unification. That was what they used to organize themselves back in Kumasi. They have to be unified to get that story right. And then, of course, the material, that's mandatory. You see what I'm saying? But without a unified front, look, everything that we're talking about here applies to Africa on the whole. Unification. Africa needs to unite. It's a known slogan. So
now let me find this from you. Should we support anything and everything Ghanaian, regardless whether it's good or not?
Are you asking me that?
Yes, I want to find out from you.
At this point, the way things are going, I'll say yes.
Okay.
It's crunch time.
Okay.
We need to just go all out.
Okay.
You know, we need to just go all out. Of course, I mean, I'm saying this with a pinch of salt, but we just need to rally behind ourselves. Look, Jamaica is a small island. Jamaica is so big about Jamaica that we wear their t-shirts. Hey, Joe, pick up yourself. If you have somebody that can watch you, what am I saying? But right now, the whole world is watching.
Okay.
You see?
So this will be the best time for us to push everything Ghanaian.
We don't wash our dirt in public. Let's deal with our issues. But yo, we're selling something.
Okay.
The show is going on. It's time we're bitching on each other. The world is running from us, leaving us, and taking from us.
Okay. Well, Grandpa, thank you so very much for making time for us. MC Portfolio, thank you so very much for making time for us here on Joy News on Joy Interactive. Portfolio.
Any day, sir.
Okay.
Day, sir. But
well,
quickly.
Yes, go on.
Quickly, to add to what Grandpapa said, the reason why I think I'll big up Nigerians is the common agenda that Niger know for carry last. Here we are being bedeviled by the fan-based system. A win for Sarkodie is a win for Sack Nation. A win for Shatter is a win for Shatter Movement. A win for Stoneboy is a win for Beam Nation.
So you believe that the fan base has given division?
It's also another plague that we have to be very, very particular about, because I mean in Nigeria, when Naira Marley surfaced in their scene, Burna Boy declared he was a Malian. Davido said he was a Malian. Biscuit said he was a Malian. The common agenda is Niger not for carry last, irrespective of the differences we have.
Okay.
But here, a win for Sarkodie is a win for Sack Nation alone. And he will acknowledge his Sack native over Ghana. Sata will do same, Stoneboy will do same. So the fan-based system is crippling that possibility of us taking over the African continent. We have to be very particular about that too. It's killing us softly, but we don't know. It's a silent killer in a way.
MC, thank you so very much for making time for us.
You're welcome, sir.
Well, that was MC Portfolio, who has been a backbone for the Kumerican rave. And also we had another chat on the phone with the Grandpapa. Well, Grandpapa because he gave birth to Hiplife. Well, Israeli posted this video on his page. Well, let's read some comments on there. Now, the comments have been coming in. It says, okay, we shall discuss tomorrow. Well, I think this is about this football. Well, it says, I remember somewhere in 2006, I was with a Ghanaian friend in London. We went to see his friend who happens to be a Nigerian. Well, during the conversation with his Nigerian friend, we started talking about music, and this Nigerian guy expressed a lot of excitement, a lot of excitement about Miss Bell's music, especially the 16-year-old song. The way my friend degraded Miss Bell to him, I was shocked, Mpo. Ghanaians, we hate ourselves, Ankasa. Well, this one is also saying, whilst, okay, so this is from Eric Kwajo Akpa. It says, whilst one is on social media insulting left, right, center, the other ignores and embarrasses fans on the streets when they were cheering him. I have started deleting their tracks from my playlist. You can't disrespect your fans who made you who you are today. And Pa Freddy is also saying that, Israel, you want us to talk about this? Okay, boss, Nigerians in the diaspora are doing so because when they visit back home, they see how their artists are treated well. When They go on social media, they see how the artists are idolizing amidst many deviant behaviors. Well, the media makes sure their artists are everywhere, hence motivating their folks in the diaspora to cherish them too. Well, they made sure no matter the petty issues they are bringing, they bring these boys together and present them to the world as they are the best. But what happened in our media division? A whole gatekeeper can say he sidelined an artist because he doesn't respect. Really? Well, Dele Momodu, one of the entertainment pioneers in Nigeria, was disrespected by Davido. Media people made sure it settled and pushed the agenda rather. A whole media house we'll be discussing Sarkodie smoking cigar or not weed, yet won't play sax song back to back. We are basically sharing our airwaves with foreigners, and those are some of the comments. We can't still keep on the comments. We have to move on, and we are moving on to something very sad thing that happened to us on Tuesday. So Tuesday, death laid its icy hand on High Life legend Nana Ampadu. Well, this morning, the tourism minister and the tourism and creative art minister Mohamed Awal and his entourage paid a visit to the High Life legend Nana Ampadu's family. Well, they commiserated with the family and assured the family of government support to give the late musician a befitting burial. Here are some of the interviews by Joy Entertainment's Mapito Serebe, well, who was on the ground, and this is what happened over there.
It's obvious that over the years, over his life on earth, Nana Ampadu was a very great icon, not just to Ghana, but to the rest of the world. His songs touch on every subject that mattered on this in Ghana, and the country has lost an illustrious person in terms of creative arts. His songs the lyrics had a lot of meaning. It had a lot of profound advice for young people, even for the elderly. So we cannot quantify the loss. Just to say that the industry has lost a great person and the world is the loser.
Nana is a role model, not to just myself, but to almost everyone who practices in the arts industry. Because we grew up on his music. You saw your mother, your father, seeing him as a great performer, a great writer, a good song or storyteller. And so it was a privilege to meet Nana Ampadu after so many years, admiring him from afar. As an event organizer, I did a lot of events with him, very professional. He would always bring people together when people want to disperse. When there is agitation, he's a unifier. Because of naturally his age and his calmness, he will make sure that we all tone down and find a midpoint so we all move forward. Again, as I campaigned for the ruling party, the New Patriotic Party, NPP, he also had passion for the president, then a candidate. And so we have to converge at a point and then work together to make sure that President Akufo-Addo wins power. Yeah. And that is why I'm here today. Mm-hmm. And so Creative Art for Change, which we formed, and Ampadu played a pivotal role as well. Yeah.
All right. What are some of the lessons this generation can learn from Nana Ampadu?
The whole world is watching. Yeah. Every step counts. Yeah.
Well, that was the Honorable Minister of the Creative Arts and his deputy in the person of Honorable Ibrahim Awal and Makoke Kumante at the residence of the late Nana Kwame Ampadu. Well, tomorrow Mr. Quaver will release the video to his latest track, Kiss Me. Well, here are some excerpts.
Come give me loving, your sweet, sweet loving. Kiss me and hold me, your love, baby. Mr. Quaver. I've got a woman, she makes me feel alright.
Well, he's also going to be on the AM show tomorrow, so watch out for his performance. Yep, and that is going to be touchdown for us here on the Joy News Interactive. The name is Ibrahim Ben Bako. On social media is IB Ben Bako. Make sure you're following us and you will be entertained.